got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
They're back. Kenny Clark and the Packers are slated to rock the 50s classic uniform once again as they lock horns with the Lions at Lambeau on Sunday afternoon. Clark and the defensive front better get ready because the NFC North leaders bring an explosive run game to the party. Actually, both the Lions and Packers average 156 rushing yards per game, but Detroit sports a two-back attack with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Together, they average 5.4 yards per carry, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
They're really, really good. And we knew that. I mean, we knew that going into the year, and it's not shocking to me. It's a team we're obviously very familiar with, and we're going to have to play at our best. And it all starts with the preparation. We're going to have a great week of practice.
Here's how the teams stack up entering Week 9. Both squads are putting up points and taking the ball away from the opponent at a high clip. Detroit is fresh off a 52-point outburst against the Titans, and they've only turned the ball over once in their last 4 games. That's a much better trend than they set in 2 games against the Packers last season, where they coughed up the ball 4 times on the way to a season series split.
Drop, sack, ball is out. Packers will take over.
Green Bay is a bit dinged up heading into this season's first head-to-head, particularly in the secondary. But not to worry.
It's the mentality of next man up. You feel confident in that room.
Throws left side, broken up incomplete down the middle. Intercepted on the play. He's hit from behind. Ball comes loose. Recovered by the Packers.
We've got a lot of players in that room that have played good ball for us, and they're going to have to go out there and do it against arguably the best team in the NFL.
My definition of a special running back: the guy who can take nothing and make it something, and take something and make it much more. And that brings us to Josh Jacobs. The Packers are running what's called split zone. Zone blocking in this direction, then the tight end Tucker Kraft comes across and splits the zone. While that's developing, Josh Jacobs takes the handoff, and it turns out that he and Ventrell Miller are in the hole. Miller is a Jaguars leading tackler, good player. Josh runs through his tackle. Then he breaks the tackle of our old friend Darnell Savage. And then he goes to twist and turn in fighting for every inch mode, and what could have been a couple-yard gain is now 5. Now the Packers are running what's called duo. Duo as in double team. Josh takes the handoff, and again, it's him and Miller in the hole. Josh bounces it around him, then promptly breaks a tackle. Then this latest victim, this guy right here, he's the Jaguars' second leading tackler. But Josh takes it upfield, then he drags Josh Hines Allen, and it winds up taking 3 Jaguars to get him to the ground. And a play that could have lost yardage winds up gaining 8. And a quick sidebar, check out Bo Melton working on Savage. Bo is a zealot, big time, and you gotta love it, don't you? Now the Packers are running a good old-fashioned zone play in that direction. Josh taking the handoff, decides to cut it back behind a terrific block by Jordan Morgan and Zach Tom. Then Josh breaks the tackle, goes into twist and turn and fight for every inch mode, and a play that looked like it was going to gain 5 or 6 winds up gaining 11. Next up, a gap power type play where this side blocks down and Elton Jenkins pulls and kicks out. And Josh, he's got vision, and the rest of the world wears bifocals. Look at him wind this play all the way back behind his backside tackle, Rasheed Walker. And then you talk about speed and torque. Look at the dust come up when he makes his cut. He forces a missed tackle, and while he's forcing another one, it should be noted, Christian Watson helping upfield. Bo Melton doing the Bo Melton, and Josh is going to go 38 yards for the touchdown, his longest run of the season. He finished the day with 127 yards rushing. A ridiculous 98 of them came after contact. Now that is special.
You know, sometimes you might be in the power and you might be getting hit by 3 people, but you're still up for real. Like, you're not kind of like down yet. So it's just not giving up on the play and picking my legs up on contact and accelerating my feet.
10-5, touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Brew Pub. Lots of matzo pizza. Edgerrin, you come across as a calm, reasonable man, yet you play the game with extreme violence. Do you have to muster that violence up?
No, they always say you gotta worry about the quiet guys. So, I just, as soon as I put the helmet and shoulder pads on, I just like to show what I can do.
Lawrence now under pressure. Coughs up the football. It's up for grabs.
The sack and forced fumble, give me your personal rundown of it.
Well, it started off in the beginning of the week. We made little tweaks to that play right there. He just said, just make sure you stay in that gap and just try to grind through and you want to pop out. So my main focus is make sure I just stay in that gap and, I just kept pushing that center backwards and it happened. Violent route and no ball came out.
Just a few plays later, you follow with a pass breakup that's over 40 yards downfield. How does that happen?
I think I'm a pretty speedy guy, that's something that's recognized around my game. So just being able to run down the middle of the field. So I just try to make the play. I knew he was gonna catch it, so my thought was, just try to break the ball up as soon as he was falling down.
It's a leaping grab, get out, hang on, incomplete.
Edgerrin, when you talk to family and friends on the phone or something and they say, hey, I saw you on TV, how's it going? How is it going, Edgerrin?
We still feel a good amount of weeks into the season. I feel like it still hasn't hit me that I'm a Packer and I'm out here doing great things like this. So it's just a moment to celebrate.
Well, clearly you like it. What do you like about playing pro football?
You get to go out there and just showcase your talent. So doing that and showing people the player you are and the character you are, and there's just a lot of things that go around it.
Edgerrin, what are you hoping to accomplish the rest of the way this season, not only for Edgerrin Cooper, but for the Green Bay Packers? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Just taking a week step by step. That's all you can do. Just try to get a win every week, and if you stick to that little plan, the outcome that you want at the end will happen. So just trying to get better, 1% better every day, every week. Just try to clean up anything we need to do. So it just focus on little things, and everything's gonna come around.
He's headed sack, Edgerrin Cooper. Lawrence now under pressure. Coughs up the football. It's up for grabs. Packers say they've got it.
Edgerrin Cooper, rookie linebacker from Texas A&M. They're very excited for the way that he gets after the quarterback. He's also very good in the run game.
Made some big-time plays. You guys saw that he got NFC Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, that's a heck of an honor, and that's not an easy thing to do for anybody, let alone a rookie. But there was a lot of big plays he made that impacted the game.
Come Sunday, Edgerrin Cooper and company will do business with Detroit's top-ranked scoring offense, led by quarterback Jared Goff. The 3-time Pro Bowler leads the league in yards per pass attempt without forcing it downfield. Dangerous from the pocket and under a blitz, Goff is the NFL's highest-rated passer when under pressure.
They're one of the most explosive offenses in the league. I think Jared Goff is playing as good as anybody.
Goff to the end zone, caught, touchdown!
And they got weapons all around them, whether it's Amon-Ra or Laporta. They got 2 great backs. They just got a lot of playmakers on their offense. And good scheme plus players usually equals some pretty good results.
One guy the Detroit signal caller is familiar with, Devontae Wyatt. Number 95 has faced Goff twice at Lambeau Field and recorded a sack both times.
Goff hit from behind, and the sack made by Devontae Wyatt.
Getting him back is huge, you know, just an explosive athlete. The tape's the tape. I mean, the guy can bend, he can wiggle, he can make moves, gets off blocks, he's quick in the run game, you know, and then his presence is felt in the pass rush.
And it's sacked again! Devontae Wyatt.
I felt pretty good.
What was like? You came out of the game Sunday, taking a rest today, or unable to go today, or how would you gauge how they're treating you?
Just managing my body, man. Yep. I'll be good. Game time.
How did it happen Sunday? Was the ankle just one?
Normal football. Just a lot of hits. Yeah.
Was there a play when that happened, or was
it was a few of them. It was a few of them, probably like 4 or 5. Just kind of tweaked a little bit. Yeah.
You had a lot of carries and a lot of body blows there too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it don't be really the hits don't really hurt. It just be the piles, getting stepped on, stuff like that. Yeah.
How much more comfortable do you guys feel with Malik in the huddle than maybe you did in week 2 when he first came in?
Oh, it's a lot of comfortability just because, you know, we've got to see how he works coming through practice. You know, obviously him coming in, a week or 2 and starting and picking up the playbook as quick as he did. So for him to be able to sit here for like a month now and learn and things like that, we definitely feel comfortable with him.
How does it feel to prepare, though, this week, not knowing if it's going to be Love or Malik on Sunday?
For me, it's the same, man. You know the defense is gonna play you a little differently if Jordan can't go. But for me, I'll just prepare the same way to try to be more intentional with all of my little details, to try to help him out as much as I can.
What's the difference in how the defense plays you 1 2
I feel like they play a little bit more honest when Malik is in because they kind of fear his legs. You know, he can move, so they kind of play a little bit more honest when he's in.
Curious, you said the ankle was bothering you throughout the game. Was it bothering you on that big touchdown where you had those jump cuts?
Yep.
So what's it like to make those moves on an ankle that's hurt?
You don't never really feel it until after the game. Like, you feel it in the game, but it'd be like, all right. But then after the game, when you kind of like get on a plane and it swell up and you kind of get off, you're like, damn, like kind of all settle in. But I'll be all right.
Worth it for a highlight like that?
Worth it for a win, always. Always.
The Lions just dropped 52, but their defense has also been really good this season. What have you seen out of them that's going to be tough for you guys?
Very physical. They fly around as a unit. You know, and they got a lot of guys that's played a lot of high level ball. So, you know, it's gonna be one of them games. It's gonna be a playoff type game. And we'll see how it goes.
Josh, you've seen a lot of linebackers in your football life. What stands out to you about your locker man?
He's a young man, but he has a lot of potential, man. I mean, I think that, you know, the things that he's been able to come in and do, the way that he's able to run and things like that, you can't really coach. But all the little detailed things, I think he's still kind of like, you know, in that rookie phase, like just figuring out all the little intricacies of the defense. But I think he's going to be a good player in this league.
You mentioned the way he runs. Not a lot of linebackers run like that.
Oh, not at all.
When did you get the first impression, like, oh, okay, that's different speed there?
Oh, probably in OTAs, like OTAs camp. Just the way him and even Hop, man, the way that they're able to move, them guys fly. You can see it too. Yeah, and they don't care about coming to hit you. They invite it actually. So they're gonna be good players, man. I think he's gonna be a good player.
When you're riding that bike pre-practice, when you looked at the guys around, you're like, all right, we're a little bit more injured than we were in Jacksonville at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, that's just the nature of this business, man. You know, you get later in the season, you have a lot more guys, you know, take a day or two just to get their body right to be able to come out and you know, play at the highest level come game day. So that's just this nature of this business.
What has stood out to you about just the running back room and what you guys have here?
I mean, we are deep, you know, like really from like 1 to 4. I think all the guys in our room can go. All the guys in our room, you know, has that capability of breaking a big one and making electric plays. So we got a pretty deep room.
Where does that calm come from? Like LaFleur was saying the other day, that your heartbeat doesn't accelerate in these big moments. Where does that come from?
I just try not to lean on me. I lean on my faith. I mean, the God with me at all times, so I just try to lean on the fact knowing that I can't do it by myself any other time. Well, I'm going to try to do it in one of the biggest moments you get, you know. So that's it.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah,
That
I
calm
mean, it's a, it's a faith journey. You walk each day, you try to get better with it, and at the same time, there's times I fall short and I get nervous or I get doubtful, but at the same time, I just lean on that in the good times and in the bad times, and I feel like just building on that, you continue to just get more and more confident in it and just lean on it.
How much more comfortable does this time around kind of feel as opposed to back in week 2 when you had to take a lot of the first team reps and back?
I feel like it's a different time, it's a different situation, and just try to take it each day, one at a time, continue to try to get better.
On that, what is your comfortability level?
Of what?
With the offense, with the team, everything?
Just taking it each day at a time, whatever they want to install, try to make sure I'm locked in and handle it the best that I can, and make sure I'm going home studying, seeing what they're seeing, what they feel like the expectation of the play should be, just understanding what, the outcome they want.
What catches your attention about Detroit's secondary? I know they have a lot of takeaways.
They just doing a good job getting the ball out. I mean, they're a good defense as far as you can see. I mean, more than anything, they're winning games, and I feel like that comes from them taking the ball away, and we have to protect the ball as always, and I feel like they have a good rush up front. I know they're down a few guys, and you hate to see that, but they're definitely still good.
Malik, you've had this even-keel demeanor, you said your whole life. I assume you had that demeanor when you were playing some games with Tennessee. You said before that you didn't feel like you were quite ready when those opportunities came. You were somehow ready in the blink of an eye here when they did come. Why do you think you're having the success now when you didn't then, even though you've had the same demeanor? I
mean, the demeanor doesn't change anything. You got to know what you're doing. And you only can do that by getting reps. I wasn't getting reps over there. I got reps when I got here, and I got a chance to go out and show it. And over the last few years, I've been getting reps, whether they be on a scout team or whatever. You're going against one of the top. They were top defense last year, Tennessee. So I mean, more than anything, just taking those each and every day, and not saying it has to be with the first team offense or with these guys, but taking those reps on the scout, and like those reps when I was starting a couple weeks.
So how much more confident do you feel, though, having a few wins under your belt?
I don't think it matters. I mean, it's easy to win, it's easy to lose in this league, and it's just dealt how it's dealt. And you just got to be able to be ready when the time comes and work hard each day to get better. And I feel like that's more important than being confident by a couple wins. I mean, these are different teams. Each team is different, and each game is its own game. It doesn't matter.
Malik, you had an opportunity as an offense week 2 before halftime to go into the 2-minute drill. And Matt said at the time he just didn't feel like it would have been a wise decision at that point. Sunday, the game's on the line, 2-minute drill, and you executed. What's changed from then to now for you?
Probably the situation. Other than that, just what the situation was again as far as the game went. It's a top ball game this time, so we needed points. Last time we were up before the half, and those in the game and in the halves are totally different. Even the way the defensive coordinator calls it, so you just have to understand those are different, and that's what played the difference in what happened.
So you take the field in that situation. What's going through your mind? Like, what are you thinking as you're going into the huddle with tie game, less than 2 minutes left?
I mean, everything, I mean, it comes with a 2-minute drive. I can't get into it too much, but take care of the ball and gain positive yards, get the drive started, take each play one play at a time. That's it.
Like, I'm sure you've seen king of the AFC South, because you've had a lot of success against the division now that you used to play in. How much of a leg up was it having seen those coordinators and those defenses a lot of times before? And what type of new challenge is it facing this Lions team, the contrast?
I'm not sure they had anything to do with each other. More than anything, a couple of those places got new defensive coordinators, new schemes, so that doesn't matter. New players. I mean, more than anything, it was just cool to get out there and play football again. They did a good job preparing us, the coaches, and the guys did a good job handling whatever game plan we had in for that week. That's all that was.
You're clearly a team-oriented guy, but how much are you just relishing the simple opportunity, as you said, to get out there and play football again that's so relevant?
I think it's cool. It's fun. I like football.
Well, you said after the game Sunday that it didn't have anything to do with you, but in reality, I mean, you're auditioning to the rest of the league here. You put a lot of film first couple of years that you would have liked to have been better. Now it's a lot of good film here. Have you thought about what that might mean for you in your career?
Not really. I mean, we still got a lot of games left in this season. We got a game next week against a really good opponent. I feel like that's what we got to focus on right now, and anything more than that is pride.
What are you hoping comes out of this, though? Because it's been a good 2024 for you.
I'm not. Just enjoying the ride, taking it one game at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. That's it.
What's the interaction with you and Jordan like in the court position room? A typical week in Does it change at all when he's kind of working his way back from an injury and there's a greater chance of
No, it doesn't change a bit. I mean, that's my guy. We just continue to work hard and do what we can at practice to help each other get better, take what we're getting coached up in the meetings and do what we can to learn and get ready for the game plan.
Malik, what have you learned from him and admired about Jordan now that you've gotten to work with him for a couple months now?
I feel like his comfort in the pocket. I tell him this all the time. Even though he gets bouncy, I say he's just chilling back there, and I think that's awesome and a great way to play the position. I try to learn what I can from him.
Malik, what do you feel like when you're out there as quarterback that the offense can do differently when Jordan is out there?
I don't know. Comparison is the thief of joy. I try not to really compare it to what we do. It's whatever Coach Matt calls, and we try to go out and execute the best we can. And, I do what I can to make sure that if it's a play that isn't executed properly, I do what I can to minimize the risk and take care of the ball. That's it.
Tucker was really frustrated at the end of the game. He was saying that the offense needed to start faster. What do you think about that? Obviously, you weren't playing at the beginning of this game, but just in general, like the Packers offense starting faster, scoring earlier, things like that.
I mean, that's always what we want. We're an offense that loves to go out there and be successful like any other offense in the league. And I know those guys are great players, and they can make a lot of plays, and they want to go out there and make those plays. And you love to see that competitiveness out of those guys. So, I mean, I don't take it, personally or anything. I try to leave that to them and their competitiveness. I try to focus on what we need to focus on. That's getting in and out of the huddle and executing each play the way it's called.
You've talked a lot about your faith, but a lot of people, all of us have our faith tested when things aren't going well. Obviously, you've had some times where it's that way. And you've also talked about your confidence, and all of us have our confidence tested when things don't go our way. What kind of place are you in those two departments now, based on maybe what you were up against in the past before you got here?
I feel like those past times were more important than any times I'm going to have in the future, more than anything. I mean, those times build your faith, literally. I mean, when it's easy and all going good, you're not as locked into those things. You're not even thinking about it. But when those times are hard and you don't have anybody picking you up, it's like, what can you lean on? And I found what I can lean on. And I can trust in that regardless, good, better, and different. So I don't look at it like, as results basis, sometimes the media may take this like, you lose, you're the worst in the world, you win, you're the best in the world. I kind of just erase both of those and just go out there and have fun and enjoy this opportunity and this platform that God's given me and try to give him all the glory.
So even though things are going well, you're locked in now too?
Yeah, things aren't going anything. Things are just going right now. We got a lot of games left, and this season is not over. And this game next week is not stopping regardless of how we think we're doing right now. So I feel like you can't really focus on that.
Yeah, so early on, strained my groin, rolling out right on one of those early third downs, and felt it, and definitely was something that was bothering me throughout the game, and trying to play through it, and obviously it got to a point where I just couldn't keep going anymore.
How tough was that to gut it through that whole first half?
Yeah, obviously, it wasn't ideal, but, it happened, so I tried to do my best, keep playing through it, but, limited movement, things like that, it was fine, but it was mostly anytime I had to move, things like that, that's when I kind of felt it the most.
Do you feel like it altered at all how you threw the ball out there when you were playing? Like you couldn't, really dig in and throw the ball at all? Did you feel that much?
No, I mean, I felt the biggest thing was just moving. Felt like it limited my ability to, extend the plays, kind of do some scramble things like that. It's definitely that.
The coach says the plan is one day at a time for you. What's your plan for this week in terms of rehab and what you hope happens?
Yeah, same thing. I'm going to take it one day at a time, do my best I can to, be in here doing rehab, get with the trainers, and try and get back as fast as possible.
He said you want to play.
Yes. Yeah, definitely want to play.
Do you feel at all just a little bit unlucky? I mean, you had a couple of these things that have just kind of popped up on you.
No, I mean, I think injuries is part of the game. You hate to see them. It sucks when it happens to you, but it's part of it. So just try and control what you control. Handle rehab, trying to get back, and do everything I can to prevent injuries in the future.
Jordan, how much pain were you in when you were trying to leave the field? Because it looked like you were trying to get to the sideline, and then could you not get there, or did they tell you to go down, or what?
Yeah, my leg was just locking up, so I couldn't make it to the sideline right there. So I just went down.
So how does it feel now compared to that? How much progress do you think you've made?
Yeah, I've made progress. It's definitely feeling better. I think every day there'll be some improvements to it, but definitely feels better than it did on Sunday.
With that said, you obviously want to play. How realistic is it that you can be out there Sunday?
I think it's realistic.
How comfortable would you be playing on no practice, if that's the route you guys go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not practicing during the week is not the ideal format for trying to play a game. But like I said, things happen. So if that's a scenario, I know I'll be fine. But definitely, it's not the ideal scenario for going into a big week.
What's your definition of being able to protect yourself? It's kind of what Matt said. He didn't think you could protect yourself. What do you view that as?
Yeah, I mean, I think just being able to play, being able to move around in the pocket, and not trying to hurt myself further by playing. So I think that's what he means by that. But for me, I mean, just being able to move around a little bit, and just be myself out there playing, not trying to just be stuck in the pocket, not being able to move if I need to move, things like that.
You guys have a bye after this week. Is there any merit for a player to say, big picture, another week of rest, and that would get me an extra week of rest?
I mean, I think it all depends on what the injury is, how you feel going into the week, right before the game, things like that. So, like we said, we'll monitor it, but obviously, big division game coming up, so I'm going to do all I can to try and get back for it.
Does that play a factor? On one hand, it's the beginning of November, but on the other hand, it's the Lions, and that not just a rivalry, but you guys are going for the same thing. Does the opponent factor at all?
I think it does, but I think at the same time, no matter who we are playing, with any injury, I'm going to try and get back as soon as I can. I want to be out there for the guys on my team and to put my best foot forward out there for them. So I think, whoever it was, I would definitely try and get back as fast as possible, even with the bye being next week.
How frustrating have the starts and stops of this season been for you? Having the knee, now this. Mentally, how's it been to weather that?
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's definitely frustrating. It's not ideal. You wish you could just go through a season, be healthy, bounce back every week. But things pop up. It's not like I say all the time, control what you control. So doing my best, just try and get through the week, do my best doing treatment and get myself ready. But the mental aspect, you definitely got to work on that and just stay calm, understand that injuries happen, it's part of the game, but it's definitely not ideal.
You see teams fall apart offensively when their starter goes down. That doesn't seem to be the case here. What do you think of just what Malik has done when he's been called upon?
Yeah, big time. Big time plays he's made, and obviously early on in the season it was a lot tougher for him. He just got here and was still learning the system, things like that. So, obviously, I've been there as a backup. We always say you're one play away, and you never know when that play is going to come. So he's done a great job just staying ready, staying dialed in through the week and the game plan. And it's hard when you don't get as many reps throughout the week in practice, and to go out there and make some big time plays like he did is impressive. So definitely it's helped us out a lot.
When you look at this Lions secondary, one guy's got 5 picks, another guy's got 4 picks. Just what's allowing them to make those plays, and how do you kind of go about it in terms of studying them and getting them?
Yeah, I think definitely on the back end they got some good players. I mean, I think Joseph and Brandon. I mean, they're both ball hawk players. They have a knack for making those big time plays, and so we've seen those guys. We have a feel for them, and like you said, you just got to always be smart with the ball, be picky, make great reads, and but yeah, I mean, I know who those guys are. They're very good players, very talented, and it's no surprise that they're making big time plays like that.
Jordan, after the game Sunday, some of your offensive guys were a little frustrated, so there's a lot more out there for this offense. Where do you think that can go? What has to get better or more consistent, or whatever you think offensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. You could break down every play of the game and find one little thing that we can improve on. So, like you said, the consistency is definitely, I think, the most frustrating part. Is it's part of the game though. There's highs, there's lows. It's definitely not ever going to be perfect, but I think when we know that there's mistakes and mental errors that we were having on our own end, that is stuff that we can clean up. That's the frustrating part. So just keep finding that consistency, keep trying to get better, improve on it. But I don't think we've played our best performance yet. So we're definitely still trying to hunt for that.
What's your take on receiving to start the game when you win the toss? Because like against Lions last year, you guys did it, went down and scored. I think same against the Cowboys, but last 2 weeks it hasn't worked out. Do you and Matt kind of collaborate on that before the game?
I mean, I'm offensive guy. I always want to take the ball. You know, I always want to go out there, take the ball, and go down, put the perfect drive together, and put up 7 to start the game. I think it's there's no better way to start the game. So, obviously, like you said, you know, it hasn't panned out for us. That's been a goal for ourselves. Is to start the game fast, go down there and put up points, and it just hasn't panned out. So we're still searching for that, but I think there's no better way to start a game than go down there and score a touchdown.
Going back to Malik, I'm curious, what's going through your mind at the end of this game when the game's online and you want to be out there, you're on the sideline, and then you're able to see him put together that, we talked about a perfect drive.
Mm-hmm.
What was your perspective of that drive, and just what's kind of going through your mind in that moment?
Man, I loved it. You know, sitting back on the side, like you said, obviously wish I was out there. But, you know, sitting on the side, being able to just see the plays break down, and, you know, obviously the big play he had to Jay Reed was, you know, perfect. Just how you draw it up, pretty much handed it off to him. So, you know, it's one of those drives we had, you know, 2 weeks back to back where it's, you know, a minute left and we got to go win the game. So, you know, obviously Malik came up huge, and, you know, Brandon came up huge at the end right there as well. But, you know, on the sideline just watching, obviously hope for the best.
I know you said that you tracked him a little bit in Tennessee, but you haven't been around him like this very long. How close have you guys gotten in a few weeks?
No, very close. Yeah, like I said, me and Malik have known each other, and obviously, you know, once you're in the room together, you know, with each other every day, that relationship grows. So, you know, definitely got a great relationship with him, with Sean, and I think we got a great quarterback room.
Jordan, what'd you think of Josh Jacobs' performance this last game, and also just what he's meant to this offense in general, whether it's been you or
Yeah, no, really good. You know, I think Josh has been that kind of steady force for us all season. You know, just having those chippy runs, getting, you know, 4, 5, 6 yards on all those runs, and then obviously just keep feeding him until he breaks that big one like he did. So, you know, I think he's a very talented runner. You know, has a knack for just making guys miss in the hole. He's very elusive. So, you know, obviously, I think the numbers might not be there, like touchdown-wise, things like that for him, but he's a very huge part of our offense and helps us get rolling.
Jordan, with the way the Lions are playing on offense, the way Goff's playing, is that putting pressure on the offense, your offense, to keep up?
Definitely. Anytime you got a good offense on the other side, you know you're going to need to put up points. So definitely just help the defense out. I got faith in them that they're going to be able to get those stops. But definitely the goal on offense, put up as many points as we can because we know they can score in a hurry.
To Rob's question earlier about the consistency in offense, do you feel like that's your position, even though you hadn't gotten there yet, to kind of keep up in a trajectory that kind of gets to that?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, I know Rob was asking about the offense kind of not hitting on all cylinders yet. Do you feel like if it comes to it that you guys can play at that high level this week if you need to?
Definitely. Yeah, I got all the confidence in the world in our offense and what we can be about. And I definitely know we can put up points too. So all it comes down to is going out there and executing and making those plays that we talk about all week. So you know, I'm very confident in our ability to do that.
2 more for Jordan.
Jordan, I know you've got the toughness and the pride and the commitment to your team to play, even if you're hurt. Do you have it in you to not play if it's not the right decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that happened with my knee injury, you know. Just trying to push it as much as I can throughout the week and, you know, get to the end of the week and, you know, listen to the trainers, be smart. But if it's not ready, if it's, you know, not time to go, definitely not trying to push it because like we always say, it's a long season. So definitely want to be able to be available for the rest of the season.
You know, as a football player and a basketball player growing up, groin injury is a pretty common thing. You've had this in the past. Is this the most severe you've ever had? Do you think it's related to the fact that, you know, we have the knee on that leg too?
Yeah, so I've actually never had a groin injury, you know, to this severity. So, you know, it's painful. It's something you go through. But yeah, I've never dealt with this, so it's a new world for me in terms of that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, you know, compromising with the knee injury, things like that, who knows? You know, it definitely could play a factor in all that. But Yeah, I don't know, but I've never had this injury, so it's definitely an annoying one. But going to keep working, keep doing rehab and treatment, and get myself ready to go.
Jordan, you stayed on the bench. I'm sorry, you stayed on the bench the whole time there. In what ways were you able to help Malik, and how much pain were you in while you were still staying down there on the side?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just communicating when we come to the sideline and, being in Malik's ear. And, I mean, he does the same thing when I come to the sideline. It's pretty much being the eyes on the sideline, kind of, it's hard when you're out there to be able to see everything all at once and you might miss some stuff. So just pointing out things that, I might see on the sideline or things that the defense might be doing to try and help them out for the next drives.
Did Keyshawn say you're ready to go?
You're uniquely qualified to grade the safety position. What do you think of the guys on the other side and what they put on film, Kirby and Bryant?
Yeah, I think they got a really good safety group. I think they got a really good secondary group. And yeah, obviously with Branch being over there, obviously I know him a little bit. And we went Bama, same thing. So I know they got some really good players and they got some good, playmakers, and they've done a great job all season.
What have been your impressions on just Goff and just what he's been able to do with that Lions offense?
He's been good, man. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. They're running efficiently, they're running smoothly, and he's done a great job of eliminating turnovers and eliminating mistakes. Really, y'all know the stats and y'all have seen the stats, so I think they've done a great job, as a unit offensively of. Making sure they score, but also being efficient and not, giving up the ball.
NFC North Player of the Month honors for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about your own team?
I felt good. I mean, me personally, I think there was another month that I should have wanted to, but I don't really make those decisions. But at the end of the day, it's a great honor, and I'm happy about it. But there's more to do, and there's more that I want to accomplish, and I'm just get back to work.
Coach Hafley said the other day, have you noticed last couple of weeks they haven't thrown his way?
Yeah.
Has it felt that way these last couple of games?
For sure. I think teams are gonna get back to doing it, obviously. So just always being prepared, making sure that I'm ready to go, and making sure that I'm being intentional about, my details and where I need to be on certain calls and certain plays. So just always staying locked in, no matter the situation, no matter kind of what's going on throughout the game, but just making sure I'm always ready. So when that time does come and that opportunity does, present itself, then I'm ready to go.
Xavier, how did you find out? Did either one of the coaches tell you, or did you won the monthly?
Oh yeah, I didn't even know. It was actually this morning in the team meeting, and Matt, he just was like, yeah, X, we gotta something for X, and then it kind of popped up. So I didn't really even know until the team meeting, and yeah.
As a defense, how do you guys deal with all the different offensive choices that the Lions have? It's kind of a similar thing with the Packers offense. There's so many different weapons and people they can choose from. So for you guys as a defense, how do you prepare for that?
Trusting our technique. To me, we've been talking about the Lions all week, so I don't know, they got what they got and we have what we have, and we trust in what we do here, and we trust in our scheme, and we believe in our scheme. So I don't really think it's about anything that they do. It's about what we do, and what we plan to do on Sunday. So we just got to keep chopping down and keep executing and keep just fine-tuning the small things, the small details, and Sunday it'll show up.
What do you need to do, knowing the arsenal of trick plays they have up their sleeve? They will do weird formations, put different shaped guys, different positions. I mean, an offensive lineman split out wide against the Cowboys. They do some crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. In my opinion, I think they try to embarrass people. And I think, this organization and the players we have in here, they don't really take that, lightly. And we know, that's what they're going to come here and try to do. So, our job is to, like I said again, make sure that we're on our keys and make sure that, everybody has disciplined eyes and still, going out there and playing fast. But we know that's the game that they like to get into. And so for us, we just got to, do what we do, and we'll be all right.
This will be your first time going against the Lions as a Packers player. What have you heard about the rivalry? How do you feel about this big divisional matchup?
It's a big game for us. Obviously, they got a really good team. We got a really good team. And, this is for, that number one spot. So it's going to be a big game. And we understand that. We know, what comes behind this game. So, we just preparing, man. We getting ready. We're not really talking much about the Lions right now. In film preparation we are, but outside of that, we're not, over talking about it. We're just preparing how we know we should, and we'll be ready to go on Sunday.
Are you expecting a lot of smack talk in this game, though?
For sure. It's definitely going to be that. You got a big-time game. You got a lot of big-time players, and, naturally we're going to have back and forth, so I expect it.
Do you partake in trash talk?
I do when I need to, when I feel like it's right to. But other than that, I normally like to let my game do the talking itself and let all the rest play out.
The Lions will lost to the Bucks. They were 1 for 7 in the red zone. How do you feel like you guys as a defense have done in that department this season?
I think we're doing fine. They're obviously we're going to keep growing and trying to be 100% in the red area. Obviously, it's pretty hard to do that in the red area because it's condensed field. Things happen fast. But I think we've done a solid job in the red area. I do think there's things that we need to be better with, and I think we practiced that. And, Sunday I think we'll be all right.
So what have you seen from the Lions defense so far?
They're solid. Obviously, their record, shows that. They've got guys, everywhere on the defense, but I think 9-7 was a big part of their defense up front. Obviously, and unfortunately for him, he's not out there. So I think that's a bonus for us up front. I think that we've got guys that would handle it regardless, but they're gonna have to find a way to get home before we get open, and hopefully we're able to make that work.
When you see they put up 52 points last week as an offensive player on the Packers, do you feel like that means we have to score on every possession knowing they're capable of that?
No, just because I know that our defense is capable of, holding them to a lot less than that. But our goal is always to put up as many points as possible. So, going into it, we're definitely, trying to put up as many points as possible. But, we got faith in our defense, and it's playing complementary ball. We know that they're going to hold it down for us.
Christian, they've got one safety that's got 5 takeaways, and others got 4. What have you seen from them and their ability to get the ball back?
There's the ball-aware defense. We see it every day with our defense, just being ultra ball-aware, punching at the ball. So our goal every week is to have 100% ball security. We haven't had a game with 100% ball security in a little bit now, so that that's a big focus for us this week. We just got to make sure we take care of it. Don't give them opportunities to get it.
Did you talk any trash to Savage while you were blocking him on Josh's touchdown run on Sunday?
No, I didn't say anything to him. It was. I think Josh said enough with the run, so I don't have to say anything. But it was fun battling it out with Sav.
How much pride do you take in that part of your game?
A lot. It's a big part of our offense. Running the football. We've got to hold it down on the perimeter. It's something I take a lot of pride in.
If Malik does have to go on Sunday, how much more comfortable are you guys with him, given what he's already done this year?
Super comfortable. We were comfortable with him, regardless, even when he was, coming out and handling stuff for us early in the year. But obviously that confidence in him builds, the more and more reps that we see from him, and he's had that same confidence and poise, the whole time since he's been here. So the confidence in him is definitely up there.
Obviously, earlier this year, a lot of people didn't know what to expect when he entered the lineup after just getting here. What do you expect from him now if he's in here?
I know that obviously 10 is doing everything he can to get back, but we're practicing the same way regardless of who could possibly be out there. But I know he approaches every single day with the same mentality. So if that comes to be and he's the one going out there on Sunday, we know he's going to get the job done.
Hey Christian, getting back to the run game for a second, what's impressed you the most about Josh Jacobs' game, and how would you kind of sum up what he brings to this offense?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that he's, shown the same things that, I've been seeing from him as a running back, just a physical back who can, break any tackle and, make big plays. But, I mean, obviously just seeing it in person, it's a lot, different. It's a lot, crazier. So, I mean, I just applaud him for his toughness and his physicality. I tell him all the time, it's really hard blocking for him because you never know if he's gonna, go down or break a tackle. So it's hard to, pick a side and just be able to block for that long. But I mean, it's a blessing to have a running back that can, make big plays at any moment. So he's a huge part of our offense.
He was telling me he hurt his ankle before his big double jump cut touchdown or whatever. When you see a guy willing to put it all on the line on a bum ankle and really working it the way he was, despite that, what's that tell you about him as a football player?
I mean, it tells me exactly what I've seen all along. I mean, I don't think that, I can point out another person on this team who practices harder than he does, who runs harder than he does, in practice and jog-throughs and walk-throughs. I mean, we see it every day. I mean, it definitely, gives you a little bit, more respect for a guy when, he's battling through something. But, I mean, just the way he works every single day, I mean, we see it every day, so it, just, proves to us what we see all the time.
Christian, after Sunday's game, Tucker, it was almost like he was frustrated. He was talking about what the play of the offense feeling like. They're not always helping out the defense. I guess how close do you feel like the offense is playing to the level that you guys feel like it's capable of?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we're really close. I feel like we just, put ourselves in some bad situations from time to time. We know there's going to be mistakes. We just got to try to avoid as many as we can. The pre-snap stuff, and the stuff that is really just fundamental. Just for me specifically, hands being too wide on blocks and everything, and I mean we can't have penalties like that, negating big runs and stuff. So I mean we just got to avoid the stuff that we can control. There's going to be stuff that happens that we can't control during the game, but I mean we got to try to minimize the stuff that the self-inflicted wounds.
Christian, Sunday marks the midway point to your season game number 9. You've played just one NFC North game so far. You have a ton starting Sunday and moving on. Is it kind of go time now, knowing how tough this division is?
Yeah, I mean 100%. I mean, I don't think there's any added pressure or we're not thinking about it anymore. Because I mean we're always obviously trying to go 1-0, but I mean this is a big week for us. When we want to go into the bye week where we can recover and get our bodies back and everything. Number 1 in the division. Our first goal is to win the division. So I mean it's a huge game for us this week, and obviously going on week in and week out for the rest of the season. But we're excited for it.
Christian, I know you guys are going to ride with and support whatever quarterback is out there for you guys Sunday, but what did it mean today to get Jordan back out there?
I mean, it means a lot. Obviously just knowing that he's battling through stuff. Obviously we know he's going to be ready regardless. If he didn't practice all weekend and was able to go on Sunday, I know that he'd still be ready. But it's always just nice to get the reps with with your quarterback. So I mean, it's exciting. But like you said, we're going to be ready regardless.
And I mean, him being out there too, like his energy didn't seem much different either. Seems super happy, excited to be out there for normal. The only thing that's different is the sleeve he has on. Like, is that ever surprising for you guys at all, just to see that he can come back and just be the same old Jordan like that?
I mean, no, I think that we've been around our guys long enough to know who we are, and I think that's exactly who he is as a guy and as a football player. But I mean, yeah, it's always nice to have that energy back out there. But I mean, we know who he is. He's battled through injuries earlier in the season, and we've seen how he's reacted to that. So it's exciting just to see him out there. But I mean, it's who we've seen since the moment he became a quarterback for us.
Hey everybody, 3 guys, 3 things, and Mike, go.
All right, Larry. Well, heading into this game, Packers and Lions on Sunday at Lambeau Field, there are 3 pass catchers in the entire NFL, according to Next Gen Stats and NFL Research, who lead the league in terms of the passer rating when they're targeted. The top 3 guys in the league will all be at Lambeau Field on Sunday. Number 3 on that list is Packers receiver Jayden Reed. Number 2 on the list is Detroit tight end Sam Laporta. And number 1 on the list, Packers tight end Tucker Kraft. So with all the talk about the quarterbacks, and Jordan Love is not practicing but wants to play with the groin injury, Jared Goff misses practice with an ankle injury. He says he's going to play. There are some big-time pass catchers that are going to be on the field Sunday at Lambeau no matter who's playing quarterback.
Wes, your turn to go.
Larry, first and foremost, Josh Jacobs didn't practice on Wednesday, but he did say he expects to be out there on Sunday as he works through that ankle injury. But this allows me to talk a little bit about Chris Brooks. And when we mention every year the initial 53, there's a reason why we don't call it the final 53, because there are changes and ebbs and flows every single year. Brooks was a guy that came in right at the end of training camp, was on the practice squad for a month, and now has turned into a really pivotal player for this Packers team. Very stout in pass protection. He's flashed some hands out of the backfield and also can run the football too. When you're trying to navigate the full breadth of a 17-game regular season, you need guys like Chris Brooks, and he's someone that's really stepped up for them so far.
Guys, at the Y this morning, a nice lady told me, you got to tell those guys over there to quit waiting to the last second to win the games. I'm going to have a heart attack, and I think we all can appreciate her point. However, in my humble opinion, I love the way the Packers have won the last couple games. Make the plays you have to make when you have to make them. I think it says something about a team's grit, about its backbone. The other thing is, in my humble opinion, when you get to the end of the season and you look at the teams that are really in the mix, they won close games. That's one of the keys to having a good season in the NFL, is winning your close games. So, whatever the case, I like what's going on with this football team, and I like what it says about its collective personality. That's three guys with three things. See you next time.
Danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control.
Wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all. Bounce, y'all.
After a 15-year drought from playing on Thanksgiving, the Green Bay Packers played the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day 2001. The Lions went up early, but the Packers would score 19 unanswered points to give them a 29-13 lead into the fourth quarter. Ahman Green led the offense, finishing with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 35-yard receiving touchdown for Brett Favre. The Lions would attempt to rally back, making it a 2-point game, but the Packers would hold on and win it 29-27. Memorable moments brought to you by the Oneida Casino.